focus. Ideate, innovate, enable.
Leadership is often seen as a key factor in measuring the success of an organization, but the process of decoding success seems incomplete without having an insight to life and business ambitions. As a part of Inside the DNA of Success, a Dialogues in Leadership session was conducted by the founder of Train and non-executive vice chairman of Shoppers Stop B.S. Nagesh as he caught up with the yogi mystic and founder of Isha Foundation, Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, to gather a deeper understanding of the disagreements and harmonies on the subject Information to Insight.
Namaskaram, this is Nagesh here, and I'm really privileged to be with you, Sadhguru. This word insight actually intrigues me. I know of organizations where we talk of getting feedback, trying to find out about people through their performance appraisal, trying to understand an individual. You make him work for 365 days, but you try to do an appraisal once a year in half an hour and try to get insight about it. How do you see this insight? What made you think of insight, the DNA of success?
Insight is a way of seeing something that your sight cannot show you. There are two kinds of insights. One is an insight that you arrive at through permutations and combinations of possibilities from the information that you already have. Suppose you know 10 things about something, about a certain business or a certain aspect of life, you know 10 things. These 10 dimensions of information can be mixed and made into a million. So these million possibilities, all these million may not actually… the time may not be ripe for the million possibilities. In these million, there may be 5 which are going to be really fire. But you must be able to recognize among these 5 which one can you really fulfill. Maybe among these 5 I can fulfill these 2, but you cannot fulfill these 2, maybe you can fulfill the other 2. So to be able to arrive at that is a kind of insight, but this is an informed insight. It is still based on the fundamental information that you have. 3 days ago, we were in conversation, we were in Kochi for the International Advertisers Association meeting. There Sachin Tendulkar was speaking, and so he said one thing which has always intrigued him in his perception. A few years ago, he's facing an Australian bowler, and 3 days ahead of that, in his… not exactly a sleeping dream, in his mind he saw that he will finish his 100 with a hook shot. So that day, because of the way the wicket was, he entire game, he stood outside the crease and played. But this Australian bowler, Mokel, came and he just had 3 or 4 runs to complete his 100, and consciously he stepped back into the crease because he knew he will play a hook shot now. And he gave a bouncer and he hooked it. So he wanted to know how does this happen. So this is an insight.
So tell me, was it Sachin's energy that he planned that I'm going to create 100 and at the 100th ball, okay, he's going to go and give me a bouncer, I'm going to hook it, or he almost made him do it?
Sachin's success is not a ball and bat story. It is a story of devotion beyond reason for the game. It's a certain devotion. There is a huge silo of memory called manas, from which the intellect is picking up and making an informed insight. But now we're talking about another dimension of intelligence which is called as chitta, which is unsullied by memory. It is untouched by any kind of memory, it's pure intelligence, beyond memory. This intelligence, see, it is memory which gives you a sense of what is past, what is present, what is future. If there is no memory, there is no past, present and future. Everything is one for you. So when your involvement is so deep with something, it is possible that you somehow touched chitta. If you touch your chitta, what is here is there, what is there is here, what is now is then, what is then is now.
Sadhguru, tell me, as individuals, as people in business or as human beings, is it possible for one to get into one's own insight, have a strong purpose or devotion, and be able to look at life in this way?
Out of sheer involvement and devotion, one moment you transcended your own intellect, your own memory silos of manas, and you touched a dimension of intelligence which is beyond this. But the yogic system has conscious systems, conscious methodologies with which you can touch your chitta. My entire life happens like this only for me. It's difficult to explain to people what it takes within you, knowing what's going to happen, still you're absolutely involved in the game. It takes a lot. People don't understand what it takes.
Modern science talking of data analytics to understand human behavior out of the past. So I'm saying, is this science actually getting into insight, and will, as individuals, we lose the ability to get insight?
Analytics as it is evolving today is insight, as I said, informed insight. Because people in their brains cannot process a million things which are happening in terms of information, now they're using computers and things to analyze this and arrive at a informed insight.
So information to insight, that's it.
The entire process of yoga is to, if you sit here, to create a distance between the two major bodies of memory that you have. Your physical body is one kind of memory, huge memory in the sense. The entire evolutionary process that's happened on this planet is there in your body, in some form of memory. Otherwise, it can't take this form. See, if you put food into your body, it becomes a man's body. If a woman does it, it becomes a woman's body. If a cow does it, it becomes a cow's body. Same food, if you put. This is because this body carries a certain memory. It's because of that memory, this form is evolving all the time. So, what you call as physical body is memory. What you call as my mind is also a huge memory, all right? So, if you do not transcend these two dimensions, you will never have true insight. You will have informed insight. Is it not valuable? It is. If you're running a business, it's valuable. But if you are interested in the business of life as such, then it's of some value. If you go entirely by this, you will become a repetitive process. You will never know anything. You will kill the genius in the human being.
From New Age entrepreneurs, impact of technology on human lives, and finding one's own self in the race to the top. Stay tuned as the Mystic Guru defines it all after a very short break.
Goal-orientedness means you want mangoes in your garden. You're only interested in the mango. You're not interested in the tree. You're not interested in the soil, but you're interested in the fruit. This is just ripping the planet apart.